Speak to My Heart Life Coaching presents the Door to Expansion webcast. Your host, Mar Anthony Hubbard. Co-host, Stephanie Hollins Passmore. Prepare your ears to listen and your heart to receive. As you take in words that change lives, renew hearts, and open minds.
Good people, what is going on? How y'all doing today?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna say nothing, huh? Out of all the people on here. So,
you don't know how to act with all these women on this panel today?
yes, I do. I know how to just sit down here and just listen. I tell you, that's probably what this whole show is gonna be about for me. Is just sitting here listening. I'm gonna be just like the audience and just soak up all the information and the knowledge. But everybody, welcome to the viewers out there. Welcome to the Door to Expansion webcast. I am Mar Anthony Hubbard. I am the owner and founder of Speak to My Heart Life Coaching. And if anybody don't know what a life coach is, I am an accountability partner to basically help you bridge the gap between one side of your life to a better side of your life. So with that being said, I do have my co-host on here, Miss Stephanie Hollins Passmore. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Stephanie Hollins Passmore. I am a marriage and family therapist, consultant, and mediator. And I am the solo practitioner for the Narrative Shift here in the Pacific Northwest. And what I do is I facilitate healing. And that's me.
All right, and we do have 3 other guests on here with this show right here: women veterans, and entrepreneurs. These are all shipmates that I have served with over various periods of my career, and I just felt that it would be it'd be great to honor these women right here. I do have, and I'm not going in a particular order. I'm just however it is on my screen here. I got Miss Megan Antunes, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm the owner of Maisie Scented Candles. I'm born and raised New Bedford, Massachusetts. I was in the Navy for about 12 years, and yeah, I got out. My family moved to Germany, and I decided that I needed something to do because, the go. And I decided to try something different and started a candle company. That's all I got.
All right, and next I have Miss. I'm gonna just say Ro. What you got for us, Ro?
Hi, everybody. My name is Rhodesia, but I do go by Rose Scott. I am a 14-year Navy veteran. I got out in 2018, and I've been blessed with a great husband who gave me a year to chill. I did that. Got back in the working industry as a corporate recruiter, and in between time, I've always dibbed and dabbed with like beauty and hair and stuff like that. And while I was in the Navy, I was selling bundles. We know how we are about our bundles. And I was like, you know what? I could do this full time. I started that after I got out, and I was like, we need a little bit more than just bundles, because I know what my beauty supply experience has been like over the years. And I wanted to create a safe space for women and men when it came to shopping for beauty, hair, and accessory needs. And that's how I came up with Lynn's Beauty Depot. It is the first Black-owned, woman-owned, and veteran-owned beauty supply store in DeSoto, Texas. And we have been open almost 2 years. We opened Juneteenth of 2020, smack dab in the middle of a pandemic. And we are striving and thriving in these streets. But we here, we ain't going nowhere. And that's it.
All right, and my next person I have Miss Rika, and yet again I'm shortening everybody's name, But Rika, you go for it.
Hey guys, I'm Rika. I am the owner of JCA Media and Sales LLC, and I do business as Virtual Gold Mine. Also host a podcast called Eat, Laugh, Hustle, which is geared towards mompreneurs and female solopreneurs, motivating and empower them to go from surviving to thriving in business, life, and relationships. That's kind of like my pitch if I was like pitching it, but the personality of it, if you see it on my social media, is like going from to out. So that's how it's like communicated across. Um, and so I was in the military, retired after 21 years as a chief. Started out as a CTA, a cryptologic, and went on to be a yeoman as we merged back. AO, that's how I know we're Anthony. But I will tell you, it's been like a whirlwind. I started my business. I was the person that was going to be your MC, MCing all your retirements, you name it. I was MCing it. When I joined the Navy, that was what I said I wanted to do was communications. And, like breadcrumbs, it trickled back around and here I am. So that's where the media came from and I'm sticking with it.
Right on. So, since everybody kind of know everybody right about now, so we'll just jump right into the show because it's usually shows go pretty quick. So I just want to make sure everybody be heard. So we're gonna talk about we're gonna start off with February. February is Black History Month, and I now have three females who've all served in the Navy. I want y'all to tell us, let everybody know about your journey, and even Stephanie, you can jump in on this one too.
My little 3 years, does that really count?
It counts.
It counts. It
Hey.
counts. Every second counts.
Yeah.
But anybody can start off about your actual life in the military as a female, as a Black female.
I'll start.
Okay.
So I didn't say where I was from, but I'm from West Dallas, Texas, and I always put West in front of it because I got to let the people know that I'm from West Dallas, Texas. But growing up, it wasn't very easy on me. My mom was murdered when I was 5. My brother was murdered when I was 16. And I was senior in high school and was like, I don't think this is for me. I waited a year to make my decision, did it behind everybody's back, like, hey, I ain't telling nobody I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. Did it, joined the Navy in 2004. And with that being said, I had no clue what I was doing. I just jumped into the water. And with doing that, I knew that, I considered myself a hard worker, considered myself an intelligent person, and I just had to keep putting one foot in front of the other. I actually made chief pretty fast. I made it within 8.5 years. As a QM, I came in as a deck seaman. So, the Navy itself was challenging yet rewarding. The challenging part is what's important to me is that representation matters. So the challenging part for me is that I was not around a lot of people that look like me, that think like me, that kind of grew up like me, that necessarily understood me. But it was also rewarding when I was able to be around those type of people. So gaining friendships, friends that turn into family, mentors, all of that stuff, those were considered my rewards. And those type of people who continue to push me throughout my career. I had a lot of challenges, but I also understood that with challenges, you either gonna crumble or keep going. Being able to see the world, the people on the panel here, we know how it is in the military. In the Navy itself, we see a lot. We see a lot. We experience a lot of different cultures, and we grow as a whole. So I can say my experience was challenging yet rewarding, and I'm not gonna be like soft. It was more challenging than rewarding, but it's made me a better person today. So
so I'll jump in, but man, that like your journey is amazing though, to go from, I think people don't, when you realize somebody's backstory, you don't understand like how much more is in you that this has to work out. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
For me, my background was not similar, but there was some dysfunction there. My mom was an alcoholic, which meant that I went to a foster home when I was younger. My aunt pulled me out. Well, not really pulled me out. The social worker actually was like, "Hey, we think that this child, and this child could be related to this child. Would y'all take her?" And that's how I got to Cleveland. And so, um, me joining the military from Cleveland, um, I will tell you, I think I joined because I didn't know there was no other way. No one was talking to me about college. No one was telling me like, hey, you can get scholarships. That wasn't happening, but there were Navy at the school give the ASVAB test. And I remember taking the ASVAB test and joining. I joined the debt. You know how you go in, you go in before you sign and you're part of the debt group. I did it 12/31/1997. And New Year's Eve, I was in a hotel going up there to MEPS. And then 1998, September, when everybody was leaving off to college, I was joining the Navy. And I joined the Navy with my mom, well, my aunt, who I consider my mom, telling, I don't know if I should say this, but telling the recruiter, hey, you screw my baby, I'm going to shoot you up. I was like, oh my God. And I think that's how I got a good job. No lie. That's how I got the good job of being a CTA. And let me tell you, I was very naive. I came from Cleveland, Ohio, where everything was kind of blended, both black and white. And so naturally, that's what I thought it was like everywhere. And when I joined the Navy, I understand that there was a difference. And so, and not that everything was bad, but there was a difference. And I rose through the ranks pretty fast. I mean, Hub would tell you I was like hot tamale in Hawaii. Just when they say in your 20s live your life, baby, I lived my life, no regrets. Hello, I was cute. I was in them streets, but I was also making it do what it do on that job. And as I rose through the ranks, I made chief as well. But let me tell you, it didn't stop when I got to those ranks. The reason why I made chief, let me tell you why I made chief. Because when I was in the office, I didn't make board. And when I did, somebody was like, one of the master chiefs there, a white master chief, I won't say his name. He was so concerned with the other girl in the office making chief that he dismissed me.
He didn't know you were coming up. He didn't even see
And
it.
so that made me grind harder. You know what I'm saying? I was studying so hard. I came in that thing so smooth on them that when my name hit that list and her name didn't, you knew that I was about to be a force. You know what I mean? But God gonna let you be a light in dark places. And so, you know what he ended up doing? Coming back around and apologizing to me. So it is a challenge. I will tell you, in the military, they're going to work us a lot harder than they work the next. And when it was time for me to even retire, I'm trying to do skill bridge and, get out and handle my business. It's like they running me through the ringer. No, we need a memo. I'm like, you just let such and such go. Like, but when you're good at your job, when they know that, they going to be losing something spectacular, they're going to try to hold on to that, And so for me, I just pushed through. But everything I did was for that. It was like I always felt like I had to prove a point. And then, you retire and then you kind of have to break that shell and be like, you don't have to prove nothing to anyone no more, baby. You good. And I'm blessed to say that everything that the military taught me, I monopolize on it every single day. Because we as Black women that have been in the military, we move different, we think different, we operate different. Not to knock any civilian out there that's in our shoes, but our mentality on how we just, like when they say you can grind and just like clap for yourself and kill your goals and don't have to worry about nothing patting you on the back, because we had to do it for so long. And I think that's a muscle, so I yield the floor over to you, Megan.
Nervous? Nah. So, I mean, I didn't come from much either. Grew up in the projects and stuff. My mom was a single mother and everything. So, when I went to a vocational school and I did architectural drafting, knowing very well I could not afford college for that, but I liked it anyway, so I did it. But uh, it came time to graduate, and my mom was like, I don't know what to tell you. So literally, I was like, that's great. And she actually went to the dentist and had her tooth fixed. So that was my opportunity to go to the recruiter. And I was already 18, so I signed up and everything. And I came home, and my mom was like passed out on the couch, all drugged up. And I was like, Ma, I joined the Navy. And she was just like, ugh. And then I left. And then the next day she came home. I came home and she was like, excuse me? Let's go. Like, she took me to a recruiter, and I was like, Ma, I'm 18. I'm 18. So I left as fast as soon as I could get out of there. I was like, take me away. Like, let's go. So, like, I didn't have a lot of confidence. Like, I'm the youngest of a couple of siblings, and there was a lot of abuse and emotional and abuse and things like that. So I didn't really have much confidence. I just knew that I had to get out of there, and that was the only way to do it, to kind of start over. And my brother, he joined the Air Force a little over a year before me, and he was like, try for supply. I was like, okay, I don't even care. Like, I don't care. He's like, no, tell them you want supplies. So I ended up getting the rate that of SK and everything. So, but it was an experience. Like, when I told some family members, because I'm the only girl. Like, I have an older sister, but mostly boys. So nobody thought that I was gonna make it through boot camp. So one of my aunts was like, this is the biggest piece of advice I can give you as a woman going into a man's world. She said, you have to be as good as the boys, if not better, to get any respect. So I took that to heart, and with everything that I did, and I tried not to use any excuse as to why I couldn't. Like, don't help me unless I ask you for help, kind of thing. Like, but not like in a bad way, but like, let me try first. Like, I'm here, I signed the paper, let me do what I got to do. We're equal, So I tried to use that as my guide, my compass, I guess you can say, going through the military. But I ended up getting out as an E5. I was actually medically retired, so I really wish that I could have became a chief. I really felt like I could become a chief, but it just wasn't in the cards. So, but I mean, like you guys said, we get to travel and see so much. Like, I did a lot of deployments. I was forward deployed in Japan and everything, and all up and down the Asia, Australia and stuff. So I really, I tried to not, be a sailor per se. Like, I had fun, but I also tried to do comrails and like go to places that most people didn't go, and just so I can remember the things that I had the opportunity to experience. But yeah, I love my job. I love my job. I was really good at it. When I'm on my first command, I was number 3 in our department and everything. And I had a lot of respect from like the senior people. They trusted me, and I got the keys to some places that I wasn't supposed to have keys to, So, but yeah, I ended up having my son a little too early, but I had my son and was a single mother for a while and all that, but it was okay. I made it work. We do what we got to do. I was raised by a lot of strong single women, so, but yeah, I'm losing my train of thought, I guess.
Well, I'm here. I'll help you back on.
Yeah.
Did you want to go, Stephanie?
Did I what?
I mean, my little short experience in the military, I just joined because I had no sense of direction when I was, graduated. My girlfriend was like, "Hey, you're not gonna go to college or anything, so why don't you join the military with me?" And I'm like, "Okay, get over the MEPS."
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I done signed paperwork and everything. Like, had no expectations. I'm just there. And my girlfriend, she like comes out and she's like teary eyed and everything. I'm like, "What did they do to you? Like, what's going on?" She was like, "I can't go." I'm like, "Why?"
After you already signed?
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant, so I can't go." I'm like, "You got me over here." And they were like, "Well, you don't have to go," like on a little buddy system. And I was like, "I'm over here. I might as well just go." And so, yeah, ended up joining the military, and that was like in 1995. So, the military, I think, has changed quite a bit since I first joined. But, I feel like I could have stayed in if I would have had some really good leadership. And so at that time, there was not leadership, any type of mentorship. There weren't a lot of women here in Washington where I was. So yeah, I think that's where like I kind of got off track. If I would have had someone come alongside of me and say, you can do this, like full pledge ahead, I think I would have stayed in and made a career out of it.
Yeah.
I think that was just the time period too, because when I came in like the 90s, even when I went in 2004 was when I went to my first ship. And let me tell you, that was a different experience being under a white male on a ship. I'm a CT, right? Which is male driven, right? It's a lot of males in there, not a lot of women, because it's the intel community. And being marked low on my evaluation, and they couldn't give me a reason why. I'm like, how you mark me high? This guy don't failed his PT test. You know what I mean? Like, I don't came in, I don't got my pen. Oh, first deployment, I'm coming back with my pen. This guy ain't got his pen. That's the warfare pen for you guys out there who don't know. It's what you get on when you're on a ship. Get this qualification for that, and I'm getting qualified and I'm passing my PT test, not just passing, but I'm up here with it, and he ranked higher than me. And then what they don't know is when you smart on like Semio and EO, they owe you a problem. Now you got to go see 599 people to plead your case as to why you shouldn't file a case.
Yeah, right.
I've seen it and done it all.
Yeah.
So with y'all military journey, now we're gonna switch the topic over to this entrepreneurship portion of it. So how did the military kind of help prepare y'all for that entrepreneurship journey? And actually, and why did you even why did you even want to be an entrepreneur?
I really didn't want to work for anybody. I didn't want to work for anybody. I didn't even want to lead. I didn't want to lead anybody. I didn't want anybody working under me. I just wanted to just be me. That's kind of why I started with just selling the hair, because that's a one-woman show. Like, hey, get my bundles, put the stuff online, package it up, make it look pretty, take it to the mailbox, take it to the post office, and boom. Or meet up with the people and do the deliveries that way. That was really one of my main things. And then coming back home, like into the beauty industry itself, like I'm not the girliest of girls. I'm the youngest of 4 brothers, so I can be a little like sometimes. But I also know that like within the experience of beauty and being a Black woman, our experience going into a beauty supply store is detrimental to who we really are as women. Like, who you think you're talking to, And then we're looked at as like pit bulls, or we're aggressive and all that good stuff. And then on the other hand, I remember being in the military and how we didn't have access to the beauty supply needs for us whenever we were deployed. It was always like few far in between. You had to call your sister, your brother, somebody to ship you some stuff. They don't know how to ship it to you. It get lost in the mail, but you need a perm, or but you need some rollers, you need a flatter. You done left something back at home, you some oil for your scalp, now your hair shedding because it's falling out because the water on the ship is bad. I thought about all of those things and was like, you know what? I got to create a safe space for us. I got to create a straight avenue for my military sisters to be able to get the products they need. And that's kind of what led me to like opening my store. But the military itself, the structure of how we are, you know, we come up with a plan of action and milestone quick, like, hey, we're going to do this. Or like we understand like a pre-brief and a debrief, learning and understanding like, hey, this is where you messed up. This is how you're going to fix it. And this is what you're going to do to fix it. So all those things came into play. And then also as a baby QM, I qualified real fast, like really fast. So I was literally doing NAV briefs as an E4. So I know how to get in front of a bunch of people and make sure they listening to me. Like you gonna listen, or we just gonna run the gram. That's how I think. And 9 times out of 10, as an entrepreneur, people have to listen to you. If it's your business, you got to get people to listening to you and believing what you're saying is true, and your vision is what they want to follow. Because you can't just throw something out the window and expect people to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna jump on that." But the military itself kind of helped me with that, structuring my business, being able to correlate and understand how people work, different people, because we're all not the same. And then I just had a soft spot in my heart for military women who, you know, we go in these stores, the ship store, and there ain't nothing in there for us. Nothing that we could use is in there for us. And then also being a civilian, you know, I saw so many videos go viral of women being hit on and kicked out of beauty supply stores or nail salons or whatever it is. And that's how Lynn's Beauty Depot came about, because it's not just a beauty supply store. Lynn's Beauty Depot is a depot. So when you think of Home Depot, you can go in there and get anything related to your house in Home Depot. So in Lynn's Beauty Depot, you can go in there and get anything related to beauty. So you can go in there and get your hair done. Eventually, you'll be able to go in there and get a manicure, pedicure, get your eyelashes and all that good stuff done. So the military kind of helped me with that, basically with the basic military structure. And then as I grew, and within the ranks, it kind of helped me understand, like working with people, being in leadership positions, because I have a full staff in my store. So all of that helped. But the reason behind it was because, you know, like that's important. You know, we got to be fly. You know, even in the military, sometimes, you know, we being on deployment and you waking up, you're like, man, I wish I could just do something simple to your hair, but you don't have the tools needed to do that. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, and I did hear you say you had some men's supplies, right?
I do have men's supplies. There is a men's section in Lynn's Beauty Depot just for men. It's your own little section. You go in there and get what you need. So yeah.
You got a toothpaste for me?
I do. I actually do.
Yeah, I think I need a couple comb overs.
You know, I do got some oil for your head, but you don't need no toothpaste. You fine.
I don't need no toothpaste.
So I'm thinking about that toupee, you know.
We looking at some quick results, ain't we?
Yeah.
Let's cut that out.
All right, who will be next about their entrepreneurship journeys?
You know, when I retired, and my journey was, I thought I was about to slide into this EA job at the Spurs GM. I thought I was about to be his EA, made it all the way up to like round 2. Well, the final round, it was between me and another girl. And I got beat out. And I mean, but you couldn't tell me that I didn't have box seats, baby. You couldn't tell me we was about to be up at these Spurs games, you know? And it didn't shake me, but it made me think, like, because before, you know, you're waiting on that phone call to see if you got the position or not. And, you know, waiting for the phone call, the phone didn't ring. I remember getting in the shower, getting out, just prayed while I was in the shower. And the GM called me himself, which y'all know that typically don't, like, HR calls you.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hey, you know, I just want to let you know that you're amazing. You know, like I want to let you know that we did go with someone else only because she had, more experience in that field than me. She was already, part working with the city, had already been part of the Spurs organization. But let me tell you, that right there, when he got off that phone, I could hear God saying, "Job well done."
Mhm.
And I think that's what we seek, is that job well done.
Mhm.
And I sat my butt down. And I think in that stillness came my podcast because there was no one talking about military women transitioning. No one talks about, what we go through as
That's true.
moms, right? As
Mhm.
military women. No one was having a conversation to say it's okay to be still. It's okay
Right.
now to break the shell and be
Mhm.
yourself.
Yep.
And so I said, you know what? I am going to document my journey. And once I start talking about it, and I am a person of resources, and I think that's something the military taught me. You always have to have a resource. Like we always got a manual to tell us like A, B, and C, baby. What we doing? Let's have some check marks. And so I started, with providing resources, and I was like, okay, tools, tips, and strategies. That's what we're going to be about. And that birthed my podcast. And the entrepreneur in me was like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
Mhm.
you know and I've learned over the years that when you put your mind to something, I will tell you that having a goal and sticking with your goal and having those benchmarks is something that the military definitely taught me. you know Always thinking about that end of the year in evaluation, always breaking it down for your 6 months. And it's like, okay, we think of them as, what are you doing for your 4 business quarters? Military think of it as, okay, where's your midterm? How we doing for this midterm? And I think when that translate over to business, you operate differently because you're
Mhm.
still in that mindset of having to produce. Not saying that it has to be right, but you should always be getting better.
Mhm.
And the virtual gold mine came out of the media side. Was even though I have HR is my background, but I have a master's in communications and journalism. And that's what I love. When they say, what can you do without just getting paid? What do you spend your time doing? My husband will tell you, because he'd be about ready to knock the computer on the floor. It would be, playing in this digital design, but I love that. I love being creative. I love helping people in that space. And that's what I do. And I think there has to be a balance. So when you're dealing in entrepreneurship and you're coming from a military background, the first thing is you don't want to work for nobody because you've done it for 21 years. You don't want nobody dictating your time. You don't did that for so many years. You don't want anyone telling you how your hair, nails, how you have to show up. You already did that. If I want to take a nap, I want to take a nap. If I want to go sit at the pool and work, I'm gonna sit at the pool and work. And entrepreneurship lent that to me. It was a no-brainer for me, even though that's not everybody's hustle, everybody's mindset. I don't knock that. I say follow the path in which you're praying for. A lot of people are praying for different paths, right? But they're going against the path that they're praying for. Sometimes that path that's hard, you're like, man, it's gonna be rough. Go.
Mhm.
I don't even know if I could. Oh Lord, that's gonna require me to do it. So that was me. I ain't know nothing about podcasting. Do it. I ain't, and I had a E5 at the time who was a MC. No, she was an E6. She was my like little protege, and I was telling her about it. And you know what? She came right over to the house, took me in a closet, and recorded my intro for me. She said, "Now what? I mean, what's up, Chief? I mean, what we waiting on now, Chief?" That's what she would say. And so, yeah. So now I just do it scared, baby. I do it scared.
Mhm. That's my motto.
Mine too.
That is my motto.
Hey,
Do it.
hey, Rika, that I check out, even though you have a women's show, I still be checking your show out. And one book that you mentioned on there, what was it? Hustle
Oh
Hard or
yeah,
something?
H3 Hustle. Yeah,
Yeah.
H3 Hustle. You know, uh Be humble, stay hungry, and always hustle.
And I'm
That's a
telling you,
good book.
I'm on page by 60 right now. I
Good
had to go
book,
to the
right?
library. Yes, I went to the library. I had to go and cop that one right there. So if anybody just have, if you're a reader or audio or whatever, go read the book. I mean, it's some good stuff in there.
I
So
mean, you
Megan,
know
it's
what? I
on you.
really
It's my
typically
Okay.
turn
like to
again.
drop that type of stuff too, just so that, because I know some guys will dip in there, but I want to make sure that it can cross over and be beneficial to everybody. Because when you're a resource, you're helping people even though you don't know. And I know we'll talk about that a little later.
What you got, Megan?
So, I am a baby entrepreneur. I am very new to this. So, you ladies are very inspiring to me. Um, I hope one day to get to your level eventually. But yeah, I got out and I knew I always wanted to do something like a business. I always wanted to like sell stuff. I don't know. I just didn't know what I was doing, right? And I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I got out of the Navy and I started my bachelor's of science in international business because I knew at some point I wanted to get back overseas because it was where I had the most fun and I wanted to be able to bring my kids to live someplace else and like promote cultural diversity and be young enough to take on those experiences and grow with it versus me figuring it out as an adult, like, get it to them a little sooner. So, yeah, we ended up, I finished my degree and I started my master's, and it's in also business, an MBA in operations and supply chain management because I thought it would be good to stay close to home since I had been in logistics while I was on active duty. So um, when I got here, it was a lot, and I had like the transition with the family and everything. I'm in Germany, by the way. So I took a break from school, and I was having a hard time not doing something. So I did some market research on things that I thought I might be able to do, like actually physically be able to do with three children, two young ones, and a funky teenager, right? So, and my husband working and everything. So, and here we're not active duty, so we don't get priority for childcare. So, like, just trying to fit all the pieces in together of what I thought I could do, and I came up with candles. So, um, I launched in August, and I'd say I started working towards it about around this time last year. So, I don't have as much to contribute. I'm still evolving with my processes and everything, but I'm a doer. So I I'm I'm I could probably use some life coaching, but
No,
but
you
it's
don't need
like
life
fun.
coaching.
Mm.
You don't need no life
But
coaching.
Oh,
Megan,
Marie,
what I
You just
what
gonna
I
throw me under the bus? Okay.
No, because
Megan,
I
I want
think
to.
no. Look, I don't think that I'm not throwing you under the bus, but I think when we start thinking about life coaches and business coaches, oftentimes they get confused. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, baby, your life is together. You know what I mean? That's the part that's together. The business aspect of it, you might need to, put some processes in place. And I always tell people, don't be afraid to outsource your weaknesses. Master your
Mhm.
strengths, outsource your weaknesses, and you know, put time management in place so you
Mhm.
don't feel like I'm all over the place. And that
Overwhelmed,
was one of
yeah.
the things I had to learn as an entrepreneur, was because we're so quick to be like, okay, at 6 we got PT, we got this, and then
Yeah.
Mhm.
when we get out, that kind of goes by the wayside because we like, well, ain't nobody gonna be telling us our time, but we need that structure. We
Yep.
I
crave it.
do, yeah.
Yep.
But you're
But
awesome.
Yeah.
Hub,
thank
you're
you.
awesome. I would never.
Megan,
But some of
offline, I want to connect you with somebody. Her name is Joya,
okay,
and she's considered the supply chain goat. And the sister
really.
bad. When I say bad, I mean bad. Um, she has literally opened up avenues for me. I struggle a lot in my industry because it's dominated by the Koreans, right? So
Yes.
a lot of things I can't get my hands on. But Joya, I'm like, hey Joya, I need an account with this person. And they ain't budging. And they telling me I need 10 grand. You don't need no 10 grand. And then it be the end of it. And when I say she's a supply chain go, I mean that. She has literally worked for some of the top brands. They fight over her. She won't even work for anybody full time. They have to hire her as a contractor because she doesn't want to be stuck with just one company. So they fight. And this is a sister.
You're a hot commodity. Look at God.
I want to connect you with her.
Willie, won't he?
Her name is JLB on Facebook. This is what it looks
Writing
like.
it down.
And you see, she got gold up there. She's
Okay.
there. But I'll make the connection. But I'm all about that too. It warms
Better
my
than
heart.
that.
But she good people, and she works a lot. She loves her family, loves her husband, and she helps anybody that she can help, and she don't ask you for a dime.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a military background.
Though.
Yeah,
That's so
what makes
beautiful,
it
Ro.
beautiful.
You know why? Because when you are able to sow into people, that come back to you. Sowing, and I tell people all the time, charge your worth, but don't forget to sow.
Right.
Sow into somebody and see how much that come back to you.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was a good segue because I was going to ask Ro and Rika, Megan, you were just saying like you're just starting out, you're getting your footing. But for the two of you, Rika and Ro, how do you reach back and pull others in? Have you been able to do that?
Okay. So I offer a lot of things within my store. So y'all, what I really want to be when I grow up is a philanthropist. But most philanthropists are rich, and I'm not rich yet. So I'm trying to get rich so I can become a philanthropist. But my store, I do free small business Saturdays. So we all know about these pop-up shops that's been going on for a long time now.
Those are
And
the
I'm
bread and butter right now.
I'm
telling
a
you.
true believer in pop-up shops because it provides networking opportunities. But I also sometimes frown upon pop-up shops because, say for instance, you got somebody like Megan who just got into the industry, and you charge her $100 for a pop-up shop, and she goes and she sit in there and she doesn't make $1. That hurts her. So I offer a free pop-up shop. It's first come, first serve. You sign up a week in advance, and you're able to come in there. All you have to bring is your stuff. You don't bring a table because some new entrepreneurs can't afford no table right now. You don't bring a chair. You can't buy a chair. You don't even bring a tablecloth because I have different color stretch tablecloths all over the back of my store. You bring you bring your product. You don't even have to create the flyer. I create the flyer. All you got to do is share it on your social media. You don't have to talk about yourself if you don't want to, because I'm going to go live and talk about you, your mama, your kids, everybody. I'm just going to blow you all the way up because that's just how I do. I like to spread love. That's one of my ways of giving back. And then another avenue that I'm actually currently working on is I want to get into these schools because a lot of the high schools in our areas have cosmetology programs. And I don't know what it's like, but I know stylists who have been behind the chair 20 plus years and don't have a retirement. They can do some banging hair, but don't have any money when they decide to go. They like, I'm done. I'm tired. My feet hurt. I gotta have knee surgery on my knees. I can't do any more hair. They have nothing left in the tank to sustain. So one of the avenues I'm trying to take is take these young men and women who want to get into the cosmetology industry and also teach them about being an entrepreneur in the beauty industry itself. So you're making money in your sleep. You don't have to stand behind the chair to make that money. You wake up in the morning and you got 10, 12 invoices that have already been fulfilled, and all you need to do is ship that stuff out. So that when you don't have somebody sitting in your chair, or when it is time for retirement, you have that cushion. And I kind of want that to be like a segue into them understanding, I know you want to do hair, but let's think of some other ways for you to make some money. And the way for me to give back is to do it to them. They're young, they want to be in the free. And then at the end of the program, they'll basically get like a starter cosmetologist kit that's supplied by the store. I'm not there yet. because I'm not
That
rich.
sounds great.
But
I'm getting there.
yeah, but the Small Business Saturday thing has been going on since I opened my doors. I opened my doors one Saturday. The following Saturday, I had 5 people in my store with their stuff set up.
That's, I mean, for
Amazing.
me, pop-up shops, or we have a community center. That's like not the only way, but the main way that I carry on through the months is with those little events.
Yeah.
It's you're definitely helping people.
Yeah.
So,
I
that's
think
awesome.
for me, because I have 2 avenues, right? So I have the podcast and I have the digital design. So on the podcast side, I am always looking for up and coming talent that is like getting missed over and not highlighted. And not because they're not bomb. No, not at all. It's because certain outlets, it's just not made for them. And so I'm
Mhm.
always reaching out. I'm always sliding into somebody's DMs, like in groups. I'm in massive groups to say, hey, can I interview you? And, I mean, so many people say yes, to so much so that I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you don't expect them to say yes. So I think, like you said, just highlighting talent on the digital content side. I love creating content. So sometimes I do just get in there and just do it for free. That gets me in trouble though. And I will say, because you can sew, you can keep sewing, but sometimes you got to get your money too, but I am like, if I'm in a group and I see that you're struggling or something, and I'm like, girl, send it to me real quick. And then I flip it and they're like, oh my God, Rika, you just saved me. You know what I mean? And that got me in trouble with, a couple of times, because it's like, well, hold on now. We can't keep doing that for everybody. But when I see that you are really grinding and you just don't know, that's me. I think the chief in me wants to make sure that you're doing it right. I'm not going to just take your money. Sometimes I get a lot of like brand development calls. Hey, I want to do this and I want to revamp my content and I don't have it. But then once you start talking to them, you understand that they don't have the structure in place. They don't have the foundation. They don't have an elevated mindset about business. And it's just crazy. And it's only because I've been doing it for so many years that now I can say, baby, you got to think about it like this, and teach them. I think not holding on to information is the best way to sew into somebody. Like, we all can eat. What's that TikTok? It's like, baby, I am the table. I feel like we all can be the table. Yes. Right. But I think that's the best way to do it. Sow with service, sow with intent. But as you do that, your name get passed around. You build connections, you network. I recently did that, interviewed one person, and it kind of like busted open the door for me to meet so many other people. And they're like, oh my gosh, we just love you. And well, can you do this? And I'm like, sure. Like, yeah, blows my mind.
Yeah, but like Rika said, sometimes you can sow too much. That's why I want to be a philanthropist, y'all, because I want to just keep sowing. That's all. That's what I want to do. My husband tells me all the time, like, you have a bleeding heart, but we got bills to pay. We got a store. This is a store. We got to pay to be in this store. We got to overhead. We have employees. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I just feel like I got to do something for them. So it hurts me sometimes to not be able to do that, but I do understand, like, if you don't grind, you don't eat. But if you giving away your dinner, you'll never be able to eat. So
exactly,
that's what's been my struggle. That is my struggle. And my other struggle, Rika, is content creating. So we're gonna connect.
Yes,
I struggle with content creating.
Right.
I can get on my Facebook Live and talk live and have people laughing and tripping out and all that kind of stuff. But to turn it into some content that's going to drive maybe some traffic to my website or my store, I draw a blank.
Conversion rate and everything.
Oh yeah,
I draw a huge blank. Like I can entertain a crowd, like me, I can. But if you log onto my social media, you're like, you got a store? What they got in there?
Right. I think, you know what? I think honestly, sometimes that can be the like. So I can do it, right? my husband been telling me for years since I started, you need to get in front of the, screen. They gonna want to see your face. You got great personality. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stay behind my mic. And I did. I went live for the first time. I think I've only did 2 like live on my podcast. I usually audio. And my first live, I did a burnout series for women. And it was bananas. Like everybody was hitting me up and DMing me, and I was just like, oh,
People
okay.
want to connect
Mhm.
with the other
People like that
person. It's
connection.
a
And especially
like
if you're the owner of the business, because so I keep it real knit, real tight knit in my store. So it's mainly family and close friends that work there, and they get it all the time. Like, where we're at? Is the owner here? Or people walk in like, hey, I was trying to get in contact with the owner. I saw her on Facebook, and they're like, it's still Facebook, but she at home. She's not in.
They know she'll be up in the store though.
They love that connection. And then we as Black people, we like exclusivity, right? So we're always like, yeah, baby, I went and shot that lady beauty before I met the owner. She was so cool. She was this and she was that. So, and I get that, but sometimes you got to pull it away from it. But Rika, sometimes just getting on live, saying hi to a few people and just talk about what you got going on. It makes people's day sometimes. I even had a young lady at an event. What was it, yesterday? Yeah. She knew me by name. I had no clue who she was. She said, I watch all of your Facebook Lives, and you inspire me.
That's it.
You know, and this is me just on Facebook running my mouth. That's all I'm doing. Y'all, I'm not having to only be talking about the store, y'all. I just be talking about everything under the sun. And literally, this young lady, she was like, you inspire me. She's like, I know you don't know me, and I know your name is Rhodesia because I follow you, but yeah. So
I think that's
generation
important
too.
only because
Mhm.
we miss that. And
Yeah.
but in this day and age, it's nice to see beautiful what's the TikTok? Black women, and black
Right.
women, and black
If you
women.
a black girl, do your thing.
Black girl, like
Yeah.
and hub.
Mhm.
Like you see how I included you? You see
Yeah.
how I like at
Thank
the
you.
end, I
Thank
included
you.
you. I said what and did
Forgot
that.
you were here. No.
He swear up and down we leaving him out. We don't cut him out the show. No, I think that's, to be able to see Black women, really shine and be on top of their game is needed, especially with so many different shows out there that has women thinking that we talk this way. And you can kind of see it on on social media and a lot of these TikToks, and they, other races is popping and snapping, and then you're like, well, hold on.
I'm not like that.
That's not me, boo. Like, what we
I'm
doing?
I'm chill. I'll snap and pop you, but chill.
I'm chill though. You doing a bit. It's giving me no.
Right.
Hey, Anthony, I totally agree. Rika, she do love some TikTok.
That's
I do.
awesome.
Rika, I need
I
to
do.
love TikTok as much as you. I really do. Yeah, I did. So, I don't know if we're getting off topic, bro, but just tell me if I need to come on back. But
Bring real us in.
recently my store was broken into, right?
Oh no.
It kind of like set me back. Y'all understand. I've been diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety, and most of it comes from being violated throughout the years in the military. So my store being violated, it triggered those things. It took me a while to figure out that's what was going on with me, and I was stuck. I was literally stuck. And my husband was traveling for work, and I called him. I said, I think I kind of know why I'm like feeling the way I'm feeling, and I explained everything to him or whatever. And he was like, you just kind of got to do like something to get you back out there, because I hadn't been going live. I hadn't been even talking about. I talked about the break-in one time, and that was it. I was like, I just want to let the people know what's going on, because the community care about me and Beauty Depot. And 3 o'clock in the morning, 6, 7 police cars pulling up to this store. Somebody saw something. But I did a TikTok, and it was basically showing the little pieces of the break-in, and then the store itself, and then me, and it was just talking about bouncing back. So to get what you were saying, Rika, like loving TikTok, it helps, because I had so many people come in the store just to either say hi to me, pour into me, and like, Ro, don't give up. You do so much for the community. So loving TikTok is a good thing, because I don't love TikTok, but I need to love TikTok. Cause yeah.
And I'm really just like, I did like, I was playing around with some a friend of mine. We did like a sister circle, and she gave some affirmation cards. And the way the affirmation cards look, they look like tarot cards. You get what I'm saying? And so I was doing a parody. I don't do no tarot cards, y'all, but I was doing a parody to that Jill Scott, right? And that Jill Scott one, she's like, they always blah blah blah, right? And I just so happened whatever card showed, it was the card that I showed, and it was a hit. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't got like 5,000 views off of what, and so many likes. I'm like, oh, I need to monopolize on this. So I put that in my like kind of content strategy to at least try to do 2 little, reels. And I like to bring the kids in and tell them which ones I should do. It's fun. It's fun, but it's really understanding and knowing what music is hot and what's trending and using it to your benefit. Like you got a store, you got a whole brand, your stuff, you can, baby, it's permanent popcorn over here.
Yeah.
We can get off right now. Like, but I think, when we talk about business and branding and, all of those different type things, I think it's important for people not to just have the foundation, but have a brand personality. And that's why the community love you. You have a brand personality, identity, an awareness, and they know you for you. And a lot of people jump in business and they don't have that. They don't know what they want to be known for, and they're doing it for quick money. And
we were talking about that recently because it's a community of Black-owned beauty supply stores, and we kind of stick together. And the grit and the grind, and I was telling her, I was like, you can tell this is not about the money for me because I ain't even to the point where I can pay myself yet. But it's the love of community, the love of what I'm doing, and the knowledge that I'm gaining and able to share with others that keeps me going. Because I'm telling y'all, that break-in, I was ready to lock them doors and write that email to my landlord like, consider me done, bro. I'm good, because it was a lot going on in my brain, y'all. Like I said, I felt violated. I wanted some type of revenge. The police don't even tell you who it was. When they figure it out, they ain't telling you nothing because they know you may potentially go back. I wanted all of that. And like I told y'all before, I got 4 brothers, 3 of them, well, one of them is deceased, but 3, they on speed dial like somebody broke my soul. What's up? But it's because I care so much. And like knowing that I care, knowing that, these people are behind me and the community want to see me win is really what keeps me going and flowing every day within my store. Because some days I just, and that's part of the entrepreneurship life. Some days I don't even want to think about Lens Beauty Depot. I want to talk about Lens Beauty Depot. LBD, no, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I just want to be me. And that's kind of how it was this past week. It helped. Sometimes you do have to take yourself away. And making this a good, like just step back. Like, hey, and my thing is the store's operating. I pay people to do that. So you can take a chill pill, bro. And you can gather your thoughts and try to bounce back. But it is more than just money. If you really care about what you're doing, it's more than just money. But I still need to get rich so I can be a philanthropist, so I can go give all my money to these people. Like, that's how I really want to do. Y'all help me.
I think the biggest thing that I heard out of that is self-awareness and alignment.
That's part of the vision, right?
I don't think there's a question.
It's not a question. It's just that y'all know we got like 1 minute before the show ends.
Oh, snap! What?
We didn't cover.
But you know what? Hey, and since we
continue.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Since we are live, I would like to know, would y'all like to come back and do this again, and we can continue the conversation?
Please say yes.
Because I really think that it was some valuable stuff that was going on in here. So we can all get together and then come back and say what's a good time, and then we'll do part 2 of this right here. But with that being said, since we got to end it, I want each one of y'all, if y'all got a quote, y'all got some words for people out there. Until the next time, what do y'all have to say to the people?
Set your price, live your life.
Ooh, the price is the price.
Yesterday's prices is not today's prices, right?
Set your price, live your life.
Yes, I love that.
Hey,
My,
y'all coming hard.
yeah,
Y'all didn't even want to wait till the second show with that one.
no, we can't. That's right now.
We'll have more for the second show.
Two of mine is Do It Scared, and my other one is If at first you don't see, try again, but I like to sing it in the Leah. If at first you don't see, just step off and try again. So those are my two things. And I did not tell y'all I could sing. I told y'all I was your name and I'm going to do it. So don't judge me.
Mine, I put it on the back of my business cards, but inhale confidence, exhale fear.
Oh! So you don't give it to us like that at the end, man.
Yeah, my little piece.
Oh, I like that.
What you got, Steph?
I can't follow any of that. I brought my pen and I done wrote this stuff down. Yes, I done been inspired. You know what I'm saying? Been on my grind this week. So
It's only one you, and if you don't show up for you, ain't nobody else gonna show up. So just
They not
show
even in the
up.
stand.
Right. Like if you're not gonna show up for yourself, then what's the point? Why
What's
you
the
expect
point?
somebody else to show up for you?
Mm-hmm. You were right about that.
Like,
Also,
look, make
y'all,
it make sense. Make it make.
y'all follow us. I'm gonna start my social media tags. Lens Beauty Depot and everything. Facebook Lens Beauty Depot LLC, Instagram Lens Beauty Depot, TikTok Lens Beauty Depot, Twitter Lens Beauty Depot. No O, because Twitter don't let you have that many letters.
And I'm Eat Laugh Hustle on IG, Facebook, and and the .com. So Eat Laugh Hustle, baby. I'm gonna empower you. I am going to make sure you adapt and transform. Come through. Be bold, be boss, be confident.
And there's yours right there, Megan.
Yeah, that's me. Maisie Scented Candles. I'm on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, but mostly on like Instagram and TikTok. So.
Megan, do you ship internationally?
Yes,
I
she
do.
does.
Okay, I'm gonna place my order tonight.
Oh, okay.
And what these, when you say scented candles, what these scents be smelling like real quick?
So I have a variety of scents. Yes, she.
Okay, I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna check you out. We about to run out of time.
Hey,
Megan, we need to talk because if you need a household for your candles here, you put them in Lens Beauty Depot. I ain't gonna charge you no money. We gonna talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys are great.
see what I'm saying?
Like between the three of us, y'all just should come through because we got y'all.
Right.
yes.
I
love the sisterly love here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Candles are a big thing here now. I'm telling you, everybody's slanging candles. So maybe you might as well slang your candles in Texas, even though you're in Germany.
I have an aunt out there who's like, she's trying to, help me out, but.
Oh, tell Auntie hit me up. We good. We're gonna help you out.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm saying I'm a vouch for Megan because I didn't sent them candles to like 3 or 4 different people,
He's
and
great,
each one of them came back and said, those are the bomb. So I will vouch for her.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Lovely.
You on social media too?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm very, very.
See, that's why you need us. That's why we got to be your home team. We gotta be. I'm the hype man you never even knew you needed.
And I just got a loud mouth.
It's all good.
Oh man.
You're gonna be my first sponsor. Don't even know. See how I'm just sewing. Now I don't took her candle company and told her she my sponsor. She ain't about to pay me a dime.
Yeah.
But I'm about to be hyping these candles up. Like just send me a candle monthly. I'ma hype these candles. Send me a monthly scent.
Megan, I'm about to go live. As soon as my candles come in the mail, Anthony can tell you I will go live, baby, and I will come up with a whole description of this candle without even smelling it. It's gonna be the bomb. And the people gonna be looking for you in Germany in the daylight with a flashlight for them candles.
Hilarious.
Let me just say before we get out of here, thank you for this.
Yes.
We don't get enough
you.
shine for Black veteran women, veteran women, period, but Black women who are on top of their game. And just thank you for introducing me to the panel, because I know this is not going to be the last time that we talk. We about to get off here and probably go live together with you not even on, just because. No, I'm just playing. But no, I mean, this is what it's about,
Yeah.
and I just hope that more can come from this, and that we inspire and show people that this is what collaboration beyond competition looks like. When you
Mm-hmm.
collaborate with someone and it's not competition, how we just elevate and grow together,
Mm-hmm.
and so that unity, just us coming together, I'm just over here, my heart is full. Mm. So thank you guys. I really, really thank you guys for this. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks, Jay.
Marie Anthony.
since you got everybody on here ready to cry, I do want to say, I do want to say thank y'all for coming on. Whenever everybody talk about a life coach, everybody have their own definition, a version of a life coach. Me personally, I call my, I think I like to consider myself as the bridge. Helping somebody get from this point to this point right here. And to me, that's what this show was all about. And I am glad that everybody came on here and you did your thing. And I hope a lot of people, whenever they start seeing this, that they'll see this and realize, you know what, this is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, there will be a part 2 to this, and I'm quite sure Rika got her own show, and I'm quite sure she probably have all y'all back on her show too. And I'm just glad the connection was made. So, but whenever y'all start throwing all this sowing and reaping and all this other good stuff, I'm here. I am here. Bro, can I get a table?
You definitely can. You definitely can. Yes. Everybody can get a table. I'm gonna have a Mozzie County
You get a table. You get a table. You get a
She
table.
doesn't gotta be here, but she gonna have a table. She don't even have to be in Germany, but it's gonna be a table set up. Okay, why
All
not?
right.
One of my
All
nieces
right.
is kind of can tell.
So here's my little quote right here. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. And with that being said, y'all, we gonna be out of here. So I'll holler.
All right.
Bye.